And now that we're talking about highs, let me tell you, Ronnie, you're really in for something now. You've just moved into your 70th year.
No, he hasn't, has he?
Yeah, 70th year, and that is big time. And as one who's already there, and Fritz, of course, you're there, and Lizzie's there, but I want to welcome you to an interesting period of life, which will be as good, if not better, than the years that have preceded this year. Now, as for the general situation, Santa Claus came early this year. And talking about Ronnie and Santa Claus is like the same thing, because, he brings good things when he comes. He's been down here. We were duck hunting. We got a couple of ducks. Uncle Timmy helped us out a little bit with it. And Uncle Ronnie helped us organize some of the things we had going for us. And we had a nice shoot in the morning. We get up really early. We have 2 fried eggs and bacon, sausages, link sausages, bread. Then we come back in. We were cold. We'd have Dunkin' Donuts, coffee, donuts. We warm up a little bit. Then we go back down to the marsh, and we'd have another flock of ducks come in. Then we come back here. We'd have oyster stew or really good chowder and sherry, And then we decided whether we go back in the afternoon or not. And sometimes we did, sometimes we didn't. But we had a really good time. So that started the month of December. And then Uncle Ronnie left. He had things to do. And then we all gathered back here. And what I'm saying is Ronnie's in a groove. And, you got to get in a groove in life. Because without that groove, you could go haywire. It's like being on a bobsled. You're coming down at like 90, 100 miles an hour. And if the bobsled isn't in the groove, you get thrown out. And, you're like dead meat when you get off the side. You've got to stay in the groove. And Uncle Ronnie's in the groove right now. I can feel it. And I know because I've been there myself. So I can see him coming down. Now, I think what he needs is a leather helmet and goggles and a scarf, like a silk scarf. But maybe next year we'll give him those things for Christmas. But Ronnie, welcome to the 70s and the 70th year. Don't forget, you don't start at zero. You always start at zero, but you have to move forward. You're always moving forward. So you're doing a great job. Your music is coming along well. Pear Tree Productions, is an up-and-going company. And I've given Ronnie some legal advice, and people in the office have helped him out with some situations. The people, by the way, the most unscrupulous people in the world represent artists. Yes. They're the lawyers that represent these people are the most unscrupulous group of people. And we've had to defend Ronnie several times recently against outrageous claims. And so far, Ronnie's held them off. But, you can't trust anybody in that business. So all I'm saying is
especially the poets.
Unless he was in a groove, Ronnie could be in trouble. And my job is to keep Ronnie in the groove. Ronnie's brought other good things. Ronnie and I now we've lost Uncle Guido. So Uncle Ronnie and I are now on the Ways and Means Committee, and we meet together with Kurt and Brian and the other trustees, and we go over family matters. And Ronnie's brought us a nice 12% rise in the Dow Jones Industrial Averages in the last year. Very nice.
I'm coming on board.
Thanks, Ronnie came on board. Now, I didn't want to point that out, but the fact is that this rise, took place coincidentally with Ronnie's arrival on board. Now, I'm not saying that's good luck, but it could be a premonition of better things to come. Let's hope so.
Take the credit, Uncle Ron.
But I think Ronnie brought a lot of interesting ideas to the meetings. We've had good collegiality. We go out to lunch in Durgan Park before the meetings, making sure that we're well fed. We get into the meetings. Nice coffee afterwards. Then we come back to the office for the meeting. So, at any rate.
Stock and Dunkin' Donuts.
Sounds pretty good.
Well, it used to be that I go out with Uncle Guido. The thing about going out to lunch with Uncle Guido before the meetings was, and Uncle Guido would get to Durgan Park, and then we come to the point the bill came, and Uncle Guido said, "Gee, I forgot my wallet." So, at least Uncle Ronnie has his wallet. So when we're doing it's all 50-50. But Uncle Guido was great. But the one thing he never had on him was any ready cash. He managed to avoid keeping it on his person.
That's how
but listen, Ronnie, we welcome you to this next decade. And those of us who were in that decade, and the rest of us, all joined in that idea. And then stay loose, and stay in the groove, because without that groove, there's almost nobody to protect you. And you got to go with the flow. You're going a left turn, you lean that way. Right turn, lean that way. Keep your head down, and you're going to win. So here's to you, Ronnie.
Thank you, Ronnie.